All new at 10, Multnomah County is dedicating millions of dollars to stop violence in the city. Most of the money is coming from federal pandemic relief funding. We're only 6 months into 2021, and we've seen a surge of shootings in our area. We've reported on lots of them, and we've heard from countless community members and leaders who are fed up and calling for change. Fox 12's Audrey Wheel explains the many ways this money will be spent.
A lot of this is centered around preventing violence from a health perspective. Of note, about $1.2 million is for a new gun violence behavioral health response team that will help families impacted by gangs. But that's just one of a long list of efforts meant to meet different needs. At a time when Portland is seeing a record spike in shootings, right now more than double the amount of this time last year, Multnomah County commissioners approved a budget for next year, hoping to change this dangerous trend and reduce community violence as a whole. The budget outlines that the pandemic exacerbated many of the contributing factors to gun violence. County commissioners unanimously earmarked $4 million from the American Rescue Plan and about $600,000 from the general fund to address these factors, on top of work the county's already been doing.
What these programs and resources that were funded in our budget do is they help us to continue the good work, to expand the good work, and to go in places where we see gaps so that we can ensure that we are really reaching community members that really need us.
Erica Pruitt is the director for the county's Department of Community Justice, involved in many of these initiatives. As one example, some of the money will add 3 new community health specialists. These are people who help families directly impacted by gun violence with safety plans, trauma support, or even basic needs. They estimate they'll be able to help 50 to 60 people. The money also expands programs centered on communities of color.
And our goal is going to be to connect them to services, which includes treatment and supportive housing and behavioral health. We believe that by providing these resources to those that are most at risk in our community of violence to commit violence will help us to have an impact.
And more than half of the money is based on prevention from a public health approach. Part of that is a new gun violence behavioral health response team made up of 7 people, including clinicians, to provide services for kids and families impacted by gangs. Pruitt says she's hopeful that helping the people who need it in these ways will make a difference.
When we help an individual to change their behaviors, we restore families and we build stronger communities.
While some of these programs offer broader help, there are also some very specific efforts like helping women reconnect to their faith after trauma or creating a new position dedicated to notifying victims of things like court hearings. Reporting in Southeast Portland, Audrey Wheel, Fox 12 Oregon.